Okay, everybody, I'm back. Um, I'm practicing a tournament, 54-player tournament, trying to win first place. Definitely trying to make money. The bubble is 8. I'm going to repeat a lot of the things if you've heard any of my other videos. I wanted to talk about a few things, though, before I start playing. First, I got invited to a house tournament on the 4th of July. So we're probably going to play with at least 9 people, 8 people, possibly more. So I'm really confident that I'm going to end up winning that tournament because, you know, we don't have double the antes, double the big blinds or anything like that. I folded because I'm first to act, and if somebody raised on me, I'm not going to want to play that. So, you know, I'm getting called. I got invited to that. I'm excited because the last time I got invited to was one of the guys' birthday. Fell on the Friday the 13th, February. Oh man, he raised 160, Jack 10. Let's see how good of a hand Jack 10 is. It might not show me the odds yet. No, I'm not that good. But anyways, they re-raised. I'm not going to play that. It's a suited connector. It's not a bad looking hand, but nah, I'd rather play with an ace. And if you were going to call with suited connectors, that's the flop you'd want to see. Everybody checked it. Let's see. Let's watch it. So now you got 2 pair. You get trips. You get a boat. You could get flush. I mean, the odds are really nice. That's one thing in poker. You can't look back and be mad that, you know, you folded this, especially since it's in my big blind. You know, stuff like that happens. It's no big deal. But, I mean, that is probably one of my mistakes is that I don't play enough hands. And, you know, for that being in my big blind, maybe I should have played it. It was early in the tournament. I don't know. I mean, that looks like that could be a mistake that I could look back on this video. Because it was such a little bit amount of money. But, you know, I always say, I don't want to have my back to the wall giving my money away to cards that aren't a pair before the flop. Like, I'm starting, like, okay, let me ask you a question. Would you rather be in the position that I was in, big blind, suited connector, or would you rather be at somebody raised and everybody basically folded except for the next 3 or 4 people? I'll just call it as a baby raise too. But which hand would you rather have? The one I folded a minute ago or this hand right here? And if somebody raised 160, would I call it? I probably wouldn't have called it. I probably would have folded that too. The ace queen if they raised 160 right here. Yeah, and if it jack 10, if they raised that on my big blind, just $60, then yeah, maybe I would have called it. But that was a big bet they did. All right, let's keep going. Anyway, so I got invited to that tournament, and hopefully they get enough people. And you know, it looks like a nice hand, and it's 27th. You know, at a full table, I want to play with like something. I either want to play with a pocket pair, or you know, you want to play with a pocket. I've said the man. I say this every single time I make a video. You know, everybody folded. I'm gonna call. I'm talking about a lot of things. I'll talk about the situations when they come up, instead of talk about a scenario that's not even here yet. See, now somebody raised again. 3 of us are going to call. Okay, I hit the flop on the 9. So, what I say is that you want to bet almost the pot, but you don't want to bet the pot because somebody could re-raise you. And in my experience in poker, anytime somebody re-raised me and I called, they've had me beat. They beat me. I've never called somebody's bluff and say, you re-raised me. I called your bluff. The only time I may have beaten a bluff is if I had like a flush or a straight or a boat and somebody went all in and they didn't have shit. Then that's when I could have beaten them. See, now look, I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. And the reason why is because either one or two things. They flopped a straight, which they could have like 6, 8 diamonds, and they called on the raise pre-flop. Or, in my opinion, what I think they're doing is I think they're going for a flush. That's what I think they're doing. And, no matter what, this guy's going to go all in next hand. So, let's see what he does here. All right, good. He was going for the flush. I was thinking he could have had ace, king, queen 9 suited, king 9. But, the odds of you having a random 9 like that and them having a random 9 like that are just slim. Could have gotten a flush. They could have had an open-ended straight, and he wanted to re-raise. That's a way to play. The way that guy just did, re-raised me, that's a smart thing to do. Because you usually, when you re-raise somebody on a flop like that, you're either going for a straight, open-ended straight, or they're going for a flush. So then they re-raise because they're like, all right, I'm betting that I don't have shit right now, but I'm going to hit my shit later. So that's a tale that somebody does something like that. I usually say, I just got done saying I don't call somebody's bluff on a re-raise, If somebody re-raises me, you always fold. But that was just something I realized just talking out loud by looking at that flop. Now, of course, if it was like a king or a jack or an ace that came out, queen, well, I would have had 2 pair. But, if a face card comes out, like if it's a king, 5-9, and somebody re-raises me, then I would have folded. But, just that flop, that just either told me they were going for open-ended straight or a flush draw. So I went ahead and just pushed all in, and I got $400 from them. So that's good on me. That's how I need to be playing. And, in poker at home and then playing at these tournaments at the pool place, at the poker place, nobody's playing like this. Very few people are re-raising, did what they just did. This was a computer move. A lot of people don't have the balls to push all in, and if they do, they would have gotten slapped so many times from doing it. You'd learn not to do it. Like you shouldn't push you shouldn't be pushing when you're going for a straight or a flush, open-ended straight or a flush draw. You should just hope that it comes and then bet the obvious when you got it. That guy just threw away $400 in chips. It's a good strategy, but it works against an amateur. Of course, everything that's not in the dealers, small blind, big blind, all that, I call that no man's land. It's junk hands like this, ace 3 first to act. You don't want to play that. What if I called, somebody would have raised, I would have had to pay $250, I would have lost $40, just for the hell of it, just because I was first to act. That's why you don't play, junk a lot of the times. And if you're not in the dealer, small blind, big blind, it's junk. And the dealer's junk too, but at least you get to see everybody what they did before the small and the big blind comes out. And if everybody folded, it's down to you being the dealer. Well, then, hey, that's a good, possible way. Like ace three isn't junk that much anymore if you're the dealer. Man, they're really trying to get me to play the junky hands. Like I might play, it's all about position. But if somebody raised on my big blind, oh, you know what? Let me talk about this. There's a couple of scenarios in poker that I would never forget. And one of the two things is I remember I sat down to play at a house game, man, probably like 12 years ago. And I used to play like once every couple of months over there at their house. And it was the very first hand. I had $100. And, I did all right. I was winning here and there a couple of times. I'd take home some money. A few times I wouldn't take home. I'd lose some money, I wasn't doing bad. But I wasn't doing good. It was just like a hobby where I was like spending money and making a little bit of money here and there. But anyways, it was the very first hand, and I got king 9. And I don't know where I was at the table, but I called it. And the flop came out. And it was 10 jack queen. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I flopped a straight. I was like, no fucking way. And somebody bet big, and I was like, what? Or they raised me. I don't know what the hell happened. But the flop came out, and somebody bet, or I raised, or they bet me, they raised me, or whatever. I was happy that they bet something. And I was like, no fucking way. And then another card came out. And then bet again. And I was like, what the fuck? I called them. Or I bet. Whatever. The last card came out. We were both all in. And I was like, I can't lose. I can't lose this fucking hand. This is crazy. And he had king ace. And I went home. The very first hand that night. And I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah, that was one poker time that I'll never forget. That was one thing I'll never ever forget. I think I had another one that I said I never forget, but I guess I forgot it. I mean, there's a lot of things I won't forget about poker that happened while I was playing. But that was like the one moment where I just got slapped in the face. Like, what the hell? There was a little streak like where I lost 2 times in a row playing at a casino, and then I played like a cash game somewhere where like I had ace king and somebody went all in and they had like king 2 or king 5 and they ended up hitting the 2 or the 5 and I lost. Like dumb little shit like that happens. It happened to me a few times. But I tell myself anytime something weird happens, it's never probably going to happen to you ever again if you play, pinching pennies. Or in this case, pinching cards. So, the only hand so far I think I've won is that one hand that the guy bluffed on. We're guessing that he bluffed. I mean, I just went all in with the hot top pair, heads up. Because that other guy folded when he raised. Now I'm waiting for a pocket pair. I think I'm going to try to get a pocket pair and go heads up with somebody with it. Hopefully it's a pocket pair, better 9s or better. But I mean, this is a tight table. Nobody's gotten knocked out. We're on the 26th hand. There's only one guy above me with money. See, like that looks like a hand you'd want to play, but you don't want to play it. So we've gone through. So we've gone through 26 hands in 15 minutes. Oh, 29 hands. Okay, so I'm in the blind. Somebody doubled the raise. Somebody doubled the blind. No. Man, these dogs are trying to get out of the garage. Up in the garage closed. Puppy, you're not getting out. Stay. So I got two people playing. See, and that's why you don't want to do that shit. Cost somebody's raise when you don't have a pair. So now you're basically out. You threw away whatever amount of money I had. Stop it. Didn't have shit anyway. Get out of here, man. This big, huge pit bull is trying to sit into my lap while I'm making this video. Let's take a look at what he's hiding. First, he's a bluff magazine. Stop. They did army crawl. Hold on, everybody. Oh, man, let me tell you guys, if a dog has a will, a dog has a way. 8-3, that's my favorite hand. But I can't play it while I'm doing a tutorial during a tournament. I'll let this play out. So it's funny. I don't know if I have a video of this dog, but I have this like 4 or 5 pound Shih Tzu. Right now she got a haircut, but she looks like a rug, like a little rug. And we have a fence in the front yard, and she's like barking along the fence with like the big old huge, 85 pound pit bull. They're like running along. Hey! They're like running along the fence, barking at everything. Together, it's funny. And then with her friend Puppy, my white dog. Yeah, man, I need to get some good hands. See, oh man, I can't call that. Guy raised $1,700. Eighth best hand. I mean, if we're gonna do it, let's do it. Right? I mean, this is. Oh, great. Oh, he's only got 100. Okay, cool. Oh, good. He folded. Yeah, I took his money. Let's see what this guy's at. 7-4. So what? 60-40? 70-30? Probably 70-30. These odds are full of shit because you don't know who folded a 7 or a 4. You don't know if the 7 or the 4 are coming out. You don't know if the 7 or 4 was just burnt. And the same thing with the jack and an ace, like you just don't know. So, to say that, that's just assuming that those cards are still alive. Damn, man, if I would have known, I would have kept everybody in. All right. So, eighth best hand. I went all in. It's ballsy. That looks like a good hand. It's 15th. But I just $400. I guess it is good enough. Behave. Let's see what they got. Ace king, yeah. 60-30 or 65-35. 2-8. Need a jack? Or a queen or a 10. The odds are still the same. Still the same odds. Five. Oh, he had ace high. Damn, did this shit. Okay, well, for $400, heads up. It's not bad. Shouldn't have done it, but who cares? Here's heads up. All right, here we go. We are gonna make this individual. We're gonna isolate what you want to do with these weird little pocket pair, like 8 or below. Now I know above you want to do this all the time, but what I'm gonna do this time, what you usually could do, see like somebody re-raised. What you could usually do is just call. There's a lot of ways to play pocket pair. In a cash game, you could just call it and hope that you just call the blind and then somebody, you get an 8 on the flop. Or you could re-raise. I mean, you could raise and go all, you could raise and hope that you go heads up with somebody. And then, raise again on the flop and just hope that they don't re-raise you. Do all that. See, like I re-raised him. I thought he was going to have a pocket pair. I guess he didn't. Not a pocket pair good enough to think he got to beat 8s. So this got to be the worst hand in poker. Yep, there we go. Shows that. I knew everybody knows that. I mean, if you're watching this and you don't know that, you got a lot to learn. But it's okay. It's fun. It's fun to learn poker. Actually, you don't have a lot to learn. I always say all the time that you don't want to really play after the flop, after the turn. And after the flop and after the turn, you want to just be heads up with somebody. So basically what you want to do is you want to play with hands that you're always going to be betting with all the time. Or you want to play in a situation where you feel like you're going to be betting all the time. Like if I'm in the big blind and the small blind and I'm heads up with somebody, then I'm first to act. I don't care. Maybe I might just bet half, a little more than half the pot. Just because I'm first to act. And always be wary when somebody re-raises you. That's all it is. You have to be afraid of somebody's re-raise. I know a lot of it is situational, but just for the most part, you got to be worried about a re-raise. In a professional would re-raise you. I'm just going to do a little raise because it's not a full table. I thought a few more people folded, but just one person folded. So what I'm hoping is somebody will re-raise me, but I don't want everybody calling either. So yeah, there we go. So now it's going to be heads up, me and William. and I'm going to end up betting the pot. And that's the only time you want to bet the pot is when your head's up, pre-flop with somebody. Hopefully he'll call, then we'll go all in. Who cares?
He's going to push it all in and test his opponent's resolve.
All right, if he's got the ace, he's got the ace. You know, what can I do? So
Let's see what they were hiding. He's moved in with just a pair.
I said, you kidding me because of the king.
The queen of clubs.
Oh, we both got a straight.
The rookie
Wow.
holds a straight now. Watching that last card
Wow.
come up the river is a real emotional jolt every time. Sometimes the river.
Wow. 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 Okay. Well, I would have had like $1,300 left, but I'm still in the game.
And the all in.
And you know, I really shouldn't have pushed all in on the flop no matter what. When I saw that ace, I should have just cowered out. But that's why I told myself I'm going to go all in no matter what on the flop, and I did. I knew I was in position. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, like those things, like I was in position. And if somebody said, well, what if the ace came out? I just still feel like I'm in the position. Like, I'm in the position. I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know, the only reason why I raise when I play a hand like this, and it's only 4 of us, because 3 people folded, that's why I'm playing it, and it's suited, is because I don't want anybody to raise on me. So I want to be the raiser. I don't want to be folding because somebody raised on money I threw away. That's how I personally feel. Let me repeat that. I don't want to be raised on because I personally feel like it's money that I threw away. So I'll raise. I will do the raise. So even though I didn't have a pair and there was only 4 people playing, I played it and I raised it. You know, I think I've already told this story, but another poker story I would never forget is that, you know, I practiced poker for like a year and a half or 2 where I was able to beat this video game, you know. Once I beat the video game a couple of times and I was like, you know what, I can beat this video game. I understand how poker is. I went to go play for the first time in 2022 and I won. And, you know, I didn't make any of the mistakes at all. That you know, I folded everybody's re-raised. I think I only got re-raised 1 time. They had ace 10. I had ace 8. It was heads up. Flopped it straight. He went all in. I won the tournament. You know, it was that's a moment that I never forget in poker. From all the way from 2014 all the way to like 2019, I played once a month at a bowling alley, like a bowling alley that from like the 50s, where we had like 3 or 4 tables, 5 tables every month. And I won there a couple of times, like maybe 3 or 4 times out of the years that I played. So, you know, I guess I was a lucky poker player, but in order for you to be lucky to win a couple of times like that, you know, you got to be a pretty good lucky poker player. So, you know, the cards fall for you every once in a while as long as you know what to do with them. And you know, the cards fell enough for me a couple of times out of the years that I played poker there. So you know, we're waiting for David to slip up. We can go to another table. I'm in the blind, so I figured I'd call it.
Having some money in the pot already can make it that much
And everybody
easier to
folded.
call.
But it's really easy for me to just fold that without realizing what the hell I'm doing. That's why when you're playing in real life, it's a whole lot easier to play because it's easier to pay attention in real life and you got everything sitting there in front of you. Man, that guy called me. Probably has like 7 jack or whatever. And now I hit a straight, runner straight. So I just bet a little bit because I know he doesn't have shit. All right, well, that's good. I won that hand. I was in the blind. And, you know, oh, yeah, that's another thing, too. When I play in tournaments, I usually win my blinds. That's the hands I win a lot. Because, you know, somebody might just baby bump it and I'll call it. And so then I hit trips on the flop. Or I might hit my open-ended straight. It's worth chasing. So a lot of times I win on my small blind, big blind. And I win a lot of my chips. And, you know, until it's time to, like, until you're down to the final table. So now this video has gone for 30 minutes, and we're on hand number 74. So, you know, you can get this thing going pretty quick once you got a couple people knocked out. See, I didn't even know I was in the blind. I'm not even paying attention. Like, I'm just really trying to fly through to get to this table. These blinds are killing us. It looks like David's reaping the benefits. David Williams. Now, Utlet is hanging on to by a thread. You know, I'd like that hand if I was in the blind. Good. See, I would have needed a 10 to win. And I wouldn't have won. I had a flush. So, you know, you gotta fold a lot of your junk. Man, my other video, that first video, you couldn't see shit. It was bad. So usually if I win this tournament, I guess it would take about a little over an hour. So I still got a pretty good amount of time to go. So, you know, I folded because that guy raised, and I didn't want to. I was first to act, and I wouldn't want to spend $1,400 just to see a flop like that, or just to see a flop with the shit cards I had. You know, Mike's betting in just position. Ooh, David waited for the right hand. All right. Now I'm in David's position. Look, all of a sudden, no, Phil's in David's position too. But I mean, there's only 2 blinds behind, and we're only down to 5 people. These guys are just swapping chips. Man, I don't know if I should. No, I'm gonna wait till I get an ace. Yeah, I gotta wait till I get an ace. Let me just do that. All right, good. Got through that. I think I saw I would have gotten a boat with the Jack 7, but you know you can't take risks like that. I think I was on the small blind. I think they raised too. Okay, I got the blinds coming. I'm gonna lose 600. If I don't win these hands, I'm gonna have 1,000. So then I need to go for an ace. King 9. Nah. I'm gonna wait for an ace. All right, here we go. All right, this is me with my back against the wall. And the prison guys, the sisters, if you ever seen Shawshank Redemption, you know, there we go. It came early. All right, the back against the wall. Here it is. Are they going to flip me or not? Am I going to get flipped? Fuck, man. Or the Jack or the 10 is live. Fucking Joe. I already lost. All right, yeah, they flipped me. But hey, you know, that's what you want to do. You want to go out with a hand like that. So, you know. Let me know if I did any mistakes. Yeah, you can't leave any comments, I don't think. But, oh well. You know, the only mistake I think I did is I didn't call that very first early hand where I would have gotten a boat or something like that when I was in the position to call. But, well, they invited me here. Should I accept this invitation? Kind of don't want to keep playing. Maybe I could play and not talk. But I don't know if anybody's gonna care. They want to care about hearing me talk. Well, first, everybody folded. Ace King, 11th best hand. Why not? Somebody re-raised. All right. So these are like what professionals do. They like do a round of re-raising. Which I don't do that shit. All right, he did it.
And down the flop.
All right, so if I'm first to act, I'm good.
6, deuce, 8.
We're not going all in. We're gonna bet 360. So then the next card we're going all in. There we go.
Chase everyone out.
I mean, that's a pretty ballsy ass way of playing poker. And you know, that's not a bluff. I just don't think he hit shit. I think he had like King 10 suited, you know? Or Ace Jack offsuit. Or suited, I don't care. And the flop didn't help anything. It didn't matter what you had. We'll run through this game real quick here. You know, and again, it's heads up. You know, if you're heads up with somebody like that, then you shouldn't be afraid of anything, really. You just know how to bet position. It's just a few things to remember. It's just repetition from playing poker so much. I mean, it's not even repetition. You basically want to play pocket pair or cards that might as well almost be pocket pair, like ace king, ace king suited, ace queen suited. You want to play those cards like they're pocket pair. I mean, you don't have to. You can play very boring, slow poker where you won't get, you know, like where you check the flop if you don't have a pocket pair. So, but you know, like if you want to win some money, then you know you got to act like ace king is like you hit a pair. You know, like this isn't that great of a hand, but I think I'm gonna play it. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. If somebody raises me, then I'll go ahead and call their raise. And hope that it's just me and them going heads up. So you know, I'm not too concerned about going heads up with somebody right now because I didn't put that much invested. But if I raise, I want to go heads up with somebody. You know. So everybody checked. Let's go ahead and almost bet the pot. Should have bet 180, but it doesn't matter. Everybody folded. All right. 7-9. I think I'm going to play a little more hands, only because it's a 9-person tournament. I shouldn't be folding so frequently. I don't need to worry about another table coming behind me. So let's see if I could knock this tournament out quick, playing that way. You know, like, for example, just call that. And if somebody raises me, like $100, $200 or whatever, and I'm folded. Let's see. All right. So now it's just heads up now. So now it's kind of maybe possibly worth calling. I'm the first one to act. I hit my king. It's a rainbow flop. Somebody could easily have 2 pair with the king 2. Somebody could have 2 pair. No, with the king jack. All right, so we folded. So you know, like this is textbook on how to play. You know, okay, look, same thing here. Somebody raised, just a few of us that played. I got suited connectors. I'm in the blind, first to act. You know, I could check right here. There's 2 other people.
Some clubs out there.
See, now what you do right here is you could check, obviously, but I'm gonna raise just $40. Not even anything close to the pot. And nobody would, no matter what, even if they checked in, the card came in next, they wouldn't have. It doesn't matter what I did. They would have never put no more money in that pot. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just call this. Looks, you know, these are good hands for going heads up with people. I would normally say, no, this is junk. It's too early in the tournament to play that junk.
5, 7. Hopefully someone's paired up their whole cards with this luck. Otherwise, it's going to be a very boring game.
You know, I should have with that flop. I should have let it go all the way to the river. But shit, man, 2 people playing. I thought 1 person would fall. Crazy chicken. All right.
It takes willpower to stand at you, but it also takes discipline.
Let's mow through. Nah.
Everybody, let's take a look at what he's hiding. Courtesy of the Bluff Magazine qualifier.
By the way, I'm playing this on my PlayStation 3 2008 poker. This is my favorite setup. They got a lot of video games of poker on different consoles, and this one is the best one to learn from. To like just speed poker, practice speed poker. I have it on my PSP. I have it on my PlayStation 3. I think I have it on PlayStation 2. If not, I have a lot of other ones on PlayStation 2. I got Stack. I got 2005 poker. Had a lot of poker on my Xbox. Had the same poker games on the Xbox, just different. I mean, poker games just on different consoles. I had the PlayStation 4 poker game. I don't know what it was called. I think it was just called like Texas Hold'em. Yeah, just a poker guy. And I think I like playing poker so much, or I want to play poker so much because I feel like that's one of the couple of things that I'm good at is, like you want to do stuff that you're good at. And I guess you have fun doing stuff that you're good at. And I feel like I'm good at poker, and I just love playing it. I mean, I kind of do love playing it on my video game, but I feel like there's no point. Like, I should just be playing it, with real money. But like I've said, I don't want to pay $15 an hour to sit around and wait for a decent hand. And I'm not going to sit somewhere and go all in with pocket fives, $200, just to try to chase somebody off, hoping that I think that they don't have a pair. I'm not trying to do all that. Now, maybe if $200 might not mean nothing to me later, and I can do that, but right now, $200, I got a lot of other different stuff I want to spend $200 on. Now, a tournament, that's different, because nobody could do, can't. It's a little different, tournament. Somebody gets knocked out of a tournament, they have to rebuy again for a couple $100s. And they're not trying to do that. They want to play it. They want to go all in with the ace queen suited for a couple $100s. They don't want to play a tournament, a couple $100s. A lot of people play poker two different ways. You play after the flop, or they want to play pre-flop. And, if you're going to play pre-flop poker, you better have a pocket pair. That's all I could say. You better go heads up with somebody if you want to play pre-flop poker. And, there's a time and a place to play pre-flop poker. And, certain times in tournaments. I guess if you're playing a cash game with like 4 or 5 people, 4 people or whatever, But some people they want to have like Jack King suited, and they basically want to spend $200 on that hand, no matter what happens. Hey, no matter what happens, they'll bet like $60 pre-flop, and they'll bet $80 on the flop when they have nothing. If they have Jack Ace suited, or Jack King suited, and then they'll go all in on the turn of the river. with all their $200 or $300 they sat down with. People don't have they don't have patience for poker. That's impatient poker right there. What I'm talking about. Like, you can't bluff not having a pair unless you're chasing a flush or a straight after the flop. But like if you got king jack hearts and a 2, a 7, and a queen come out off rainbow, like, get the fuck out of there, man. All right, so we're going. You telling me I think she hit a 10 or a 4? Nah. I'm ready to go home then too. Oh, she did it. Fucking 4. Ah. The computer knows, man, that the odds are you didn't hit nothing. That's why they do what they do. So now I have $300. I mean, let's do it. And I need a 9 to save my life. And it didn't happen. All right. Well, that was fun, everybody. One mistake could end you the tournament, everything. But for sure, I'll let you guys know what happens on the 4th of July. Hopefully they have the game. They don't cancel it. Take care.